Hey everyone in the Made with world, Janis here, and wanted to check in because I'm dealing with something and have been for the last 2 years, and it absolutely pertains to skin and health, and I think some of my learnings might be worth sharing. Maybe not. But anyway, I think some of you or many of you know that I've had eczema since I was a little one, and about 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with hypothyroidism as well. And so one of the first things that my doctor had recommended was that I go gluten free. And that sounded crazy to me. I was not interested. I had already determined we were going to give me a synthetic hormone to replicate the thyroid hormone every day. So I wanted to see what that did first before I made any big sweeping commitments and changes to my diet. And so trying to find the right levels in and of itself was a challenge. It got so bad I ended up developing kidney stones, which is a completely different story. But over the last 2 years, I've seen my skin get worse and worse. And it got to the point where I was just getting red patches all over with bumps, super itchy. Felt like my skin was on fire for the most part, which was tough. And stress definitely made it worse. This year's been a little crazy, especially launching a company. So 2 months ago, my skin really, got pretty out of control. And I went the traditional route, or the route that I'm used to going, which is I got on a round of steroids to try to get it under control. And it did. Got it under control, and who knows what other side effects that came from that. And I'm not against that side of medicine at all. I think that there's a balance you have to find in terms of, you can use it to get things under control, but then you should try to maintain it in a clean, natural way once it is under control. So anyway, I did that, and it worked for about a month. My skin was okay, but then it just started to get worse and worse again. And so at this point, I'm desperate, and I don't want to get back on steroids. And one of my good friends is a naturopathic doctor, and she said, Janis, it's time. You really need to give gluten free a try and see what it does for your skin. Cut it out for a month and see what happens. But she also wanted me to go dairy free. And the gluten free part didn't intimidate me as much. I feel like, I eat a lot of brown rice. There's plenty of things that are gluten free. So that part didn't scare me as much as the dairy free part. Like the cheese part is hard. I love cheese. That was my first food. Giving up dairy was a big deal, but she recommended it because I'm also asthmatic, and asthma, eczema, and my allergies all have a way of working together to try to take me down, but I won't let it. And so, in that desperation, I finally listened, and so I've now been gluten-free and dairy-free for a week. And I've got to say, you know, immediately I started feeling a difference in my skin. And there's still days where it goes up and down, and it's apparently going to take me about a month to really see what the effects are. But my skin doesn't feel like it's screaming anymore, and that's really big for me because that was the biggest challenge over the last 2 years, is that I felt like my body was telling me something and I couldn't figure out what was happening. And so now you can still see, there's still some remnants of the last breakout that I had, but it feels a lot better. There's other things that I've been doing to help out with my skin, which I'll share separately, but I did want to at least start kind of documenting the gluten-free, dairy-free journey, because I think some people might also be dealing with some of these challenges. I'm not saying that it's for everyone. Definitely work with your doctor or your functional medicine doctor, your naturopath, and find the right path for you. But if you are exploring gluten-free and dairy-free, I'll be sharing tips. I'll be sharing some of the gems that I find in terms of food, because I've already found a few, so I'll start sharing those as well, because that's the whole point of Made With, right? We want to make it easier for you. We want to find gems and share them with the world so that we can all find paths to cleaner, happier, healthier lifestyles. We want to make that a priority and make it easy for all of you. Thanks for listening. Talk to you soon.